Okay, we're on YouTube. Go ahead.
Beautiful. I will call the public hearing to order, and I'd ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Gully. I didn't hear a response from him. Is your mute button on?
It is. Jim, you're on mute.
I am here.
Thank you, sir. Councilmember Ashley Pearson.
Here.
Councilmember Steele.
Here.
Councilmember Cummings is absent. Councilmember Zalewski.
I am here.
Councilmember McDermott.
Here.
And Council President Mantello.
Here.
We have 6 present and 1 absent.
All right, Council President, I move that the council resolve itself into a committee of the whole for the purpose of conducting a public hearing.
Thank you, Councilmember Zalewski. And if the clerk could read the notice of publication.
City of Troy has announced that a public information meeting will be held to discuss the proposed design of bridge rehabilitation of the Campbell Avenue Bridge over the Winans-Kill. The meeting will be held on Thursday, June 4th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. The purpose of the meeting is to present the proposed design for bridge rehabilitation and to receive comments on the proposed project from individuals, groups, officials, and local agencies. This public information meeting is part of the continuing effort by the involved local, state, and federal agencies to encourage public input into the development of transportation projects. As authorized under Governor Cuomo's executive orders, the public will not be permitted to attend the public meeting in person. Instead, the public will have the ability to see and participate in the hearing live via the City Council meetings on the Troy City Council YouTube page as described below, as permitted by the New York State Open Meetings Law as modified by the executive orders. Due to public health and safety concerns, the public will not be permitted to attend at the remote locations where the City Council members will be situated. If you have a computer, tablet, or smartphone, you can see the video or hear the audio of the live session. Access at youtube.com/Troy City Council. Otherwise, that's not correct. And there is a link to submit email comments at campbell@troyny.gov or call the City Clerk's office at 518-279-7134 by Friday, June 19th.
Thank you, Mara. I will skip the rules. Mara, did we receive any comments for the public hearing? I
don't know who's monitoring that campbell@troyny.gov email address. It is not me. I did not get any phone calls.
Thank you. Who is monitoring that, Monica?
I believe that one goes to John. So once we have this public opinion, just like Mount Ida Dam, people will be able to submit their comments and then we'll collect them. And then Brian, I think you were gonna, everything gets to Brian as well too.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we'll hand it over to you folks. And I'm sure, Monica, you want to introduce our guests and we'll take it from there.
Sure. Hi, everybody. We're here tonight to have our public meeting over the Campbell Ave Bridge. We have our consultants from CHA with us tonight. Brian Healy will be, I believe, putting together the session, and then he'll introduce his team that he's got with him. So just to kind of keep it short and sweet, we'll go through it. And if you have any questions, please feel free. But we did supply you guys with the PDFs as well, so you'll have them afterwards as well, in case you want to submit some questions afterwards. Go ahead, Brian.
All right. Thanks, Monica. As Monica just said, my name is Brian Healy, and I work for CHA Consulting. I'm the project manager for this project, and I'll be co-presenting tonight with Jeff Najowski, the lead bridge engineer. There it goes. This is a brief outline of our presentation tonight. We'll be reviewing the purpose of the meeting, the project location and the project objectives in the federal aid process. We will review the current project status and schedule. And finally, we will review the proposed project plan and answer any questions. This project is a locally administered federal aid project. The city of Troy received a $3.78 million grant through the New York State Department of Transportation Bridge New York program. The project is 95% funded by Federal Highway Administration, with the remaining 5% funded by the city of Troy. We are following the New York State Department of Transportation procedures for local administered federally funded projects. The project will be administered by the city of Troy with oversight by New York State Department of Transportation and the Federal Highway Administration. Tonight's meeting will present the proposed project and allow the public to provide any feedback to be incorporated in the final project. This process will satisfy the requirements for both the National Environmental Protection Act and the State Environmental Quality Review Act. The proposed project is located on Campbell Ave over the Wynantskill. The project is approximately a half a mile west of the intersection of Spring and Campbell Ave, with approximate limits between Colleen Road and Project Road. The existing bridge has significant deterioration, particularly on the bridge deck and beams. Based on this, the project objectives are: 1, to extend the structure's service life; 2, reduce the maintenance costs; 3, improve the overall condition of the structure. The federal aid process development is broken into 4 phases. They are scoping, where we identify the objectives, develop alternatives, and screen for potential environmental impacts. 2, preliminary engineering, where we develop a preferred alternative and write a design report. And 3, detailed designs, where we finalize the design, develop bidding documents for construction, and solicit bids from contractors. And then finally, construction of the project. Currently, we have completed scoping, where we did survey and environmental screenings such as wetlands, endangered species, and research of historic properties. We have completed a review of traffic operations and accidents within the project limits, then developed alternatives to be considered that met the project objectives and minimized impacts. We are currently in phase 2, where we have chosen a preferred alternative and developed concept level plans. We have developed a draft design report to summarize our alternatives and findings from phase 1 and phase 2. This report was submitted and reviewed by New York State Department of Transportation. And tonight we are presenting the preferred alternative to you and soliciting comments on the preferred alternative. For the next 2 weeks, you can send in comments to the city on the preferred alternative, which are due by Friday, June 19th. The comments will be considered for incorporation into the preferred alternative, and a response will be provided on all comments received. The preferred alternative and design report will be finalized, and the final report will be submitted to New York State DOT. The DOT will review the design and approve the project, allowing us to proceed to detailed design. Once design approval is obtained, the final design plans can be developed for construction. The project will be advertised for contractors to bid. We will open bids, and the project will be awarded to the low bidder. After the award, we can begin the construction of the project. So this is the current project schedule. We are planning on completing preliminary engineering by the end of July. We anticipate starting detailed design in August with a bid opening in January of 2021. Construction is anticipated to begin in March 2021 and be completed in fall of 2021. At this point, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Jeff Najowski, who's going to get into the meat and potatoes of the project and present the preferred alternative. Jeff?
Thanks, Brian. Meat and potatoes, but you haven't had dinner yet, I guess, huh? Okay, okay, thanks. Yes, so we'll take another look at the existing roadway and discuss this in more detail. For the reference, north is roughly at the top of the picture. And the bridge is right in the center of the picture over the Winans-Kill. One thing to note is the fire station in close proximity to the bridge at the bottom left, and the Park Place apartments on the bottom right. You can note the sidewalk in front of the apartments that stops short of the bridge right now. The existing bridge doesn't have a sidewalk on this side currently. And there's also no existing crosswalk to get to the north side of Campbell Avenue or to Project Road, which is shown on the upper right in the picture. Next. Thanks. These figures are showing cross sections through both the existing bridge and the proposed bridge. As for the existing bridge, Brian mentioned the superstructure, which is the concrete beams and the deck, have experienced significant deterioration and warrants replacement. But the substructures that support them are in good condition, so they're going to remain. And that limits a lot of the impacts in the project. The hydraulic opening, which is the area beneath the beams above the stream, is sufficient for storm events. And it's important to note that the bridge doesn't need to be raised to provide a larger opening, which is often the case for a lot of bridges that have shorter spans. Raising the structure and roadway, if we had to do that, could produce significant impacts to the neighboring properties, especially the fire station, as well as significant increases in cost that wouldn't be funded. Therefore, we are providing a structure that maintains the existing top of roadway elevation. And looking at the proposed section, we can see that the structure width is approximately the same as the existing. The lane, shoulder, and median widths will remain the same. The notable difference is that we have sidewalks on both sides now, and we can achieve that by moving the existing water mains, which are currently on top of the bridge deck. You can see them in the existing plan or cross section right outside of the barriers, and moving those to the bottom of the bridge deck, and that gives us the room for that extra sidewalk. So another difference is that we're proposing steel beams instead of concrete beams. The concrete beams can often, the adjacent box beams that are there, one of the problems is that deterioration isn't always visible and could cause some issues. It's very difficult to inspect. Steel beams are a lot easier to inspect, and they're typically cheaper and easier to repair as well. Next, Brian. So this is the project plan from the project limits here. The darker gray portions on either side of the bridge show the approach roadway work that's needed to tie into the existing pavement. These are very short project limits and provide minimal impacts. The large width of the bridge also allows stage construction that maintains traffic in both directions throughout construction. And we also anticipate detouring trucks away from the bridge during construction to increase safety, because the lanes during the stage construction will be narrower than in the final condition. Next. This is just a little blow up of the west part of the project. We are minimizing all the impacts to the fire station during construction. And there's some dash lines at the bottom there that indicate a new sidewalk we're providing from the fire station across the bridge on the south side. Next. And this is a closer view on the east side. The fire station, the sidewalk from the fire station continues across the bridge and connects to an existing sidewalk in front of the Park Place apartments. The sidewalk on the north side is going to be reconstructed from the bridge to the project road to meet current ADA requirements. And new ADA ramps and curbs, ramps and crosswalks will be added at Project Road to allow for increased connectivity to the local sidewalk system. Next. And that's what we've got. So looking for comments from the public, comments from you all. And here's all the information of where to submit comments to.
Thank you, Jeff. Did anyone have any questions, comments? Okay. I guess it seems pretty straightforward. Councilmember Ash?
I just want to say that this is work that really does need to be done. And I'm really happy about all these sidewalks and repairs coming through with that. So I think this is going to be a good thing. The sidewalks are only going to go as far as to Project Road, the starting there on both sides and coming down, connecting.
Correct.
Correct. Yep.
So Kim,
Yes.
we're looking at, where the Campbell and Spring Avenue intersection is,
Yeah.
that little section from that intersection down to Project Road.
Yeah.
We're looking at that right now. We're waiting to kind of see, you remember we did the bonding last year for the capital plan for the sidewalks and stuff like that, the sidewalks and additional paving that we put in, and then in addition to the CHIPS paving. So once we get a little bit more information from New York State, it's an area that we're going to look at maybe adding a sidewalk, because I know that's a really well-traveled area. So we're just kind of trying to take a look at that right now.
That would be good, because that's where I was going next, because people do walk that and they're walking in the road. So if you're going to put the sidewalks in there and connect it, I think that would be good. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, especially during the winter, we had some real issues where people were walking the road because there is no sidewalk, and obviously it doesn't get shoveled. So any other comments, questions? And Monica, obviously the fire department, they've been in the loop, I take it, correct?
So yeah, I mean, we're just in the early planning stages at this moment in time, but as far as the traffic and the phasing, we're talking to them as well too. And we will bring them in, obviously, once we get into construction.
And
Sorry, my dog ran down the steps.
I was wondering whose dog. And Jeff and Brian, you don't anticipate at all closing Campbell?
Correct. Yeah, it would be stage construction.
I will mention that there's likelihood of very short closures for when they're like erecting girders and everything, but that's going to be very minimal.
Okay, you'll probably detour them through Emerald as normally, or?
No, actually, it's gonna have to be different, because if you go through Emerald, you still go back out. You have to, so it'll take a lot of coordination, and we'll have to make sure that we do it keeping in mind the bus schedules and school and everything else. So
yeah.
It's a very detail-oriented construction piece.
Yep.
Council President.
Yes, Councilmember Ash.
When you do the closing of the road, and I'm sure it's going to be a brief, but we're going to have to reroute the fire department as well and have other things in place.
Yep.
Good job.
Yep.
Okay, anyone else? All right. I think Brian, Jeff, very well thought out PowerPoint. Nobody else had comments, correct? And the comment period ends when again?
June 19th.
Okay, and Monica, you're sending us the PDF and we'll get it out there.
Yeah, I already did.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I guess we're good.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Okay, thank you. And we have 7 minutes to kill till our regular meeting. So I guess we'll take a break and come back at 7 o'clock. Okay,
Sounds good.
all right.
This will continue to record and will continue to stream on YouTube so that it's all just one meeting, just to make sure everybody's aware of that, okay?
That's a great idea. So Councilmember Ash McPherson, put yourself on mute.
Oh. Were we not supposed to join?
Hi, Avery. We'll be starting in about 5 minutes.
What did you offer now?
What did you say?
What is that? I don't know what's happening.
Welcome, Councilmember Cummings.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I seem to be having some issues with my microphone, but can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Camilla, we have 1 minute to 7 o'clock and then 19 rings if you're interested.
Yes, we can do that right at the beginning. Thank you. CHA did a good job, Monica.
They did. They're good to work with. Jeff also worked on, he did the design for the seawall.
Okay.
Yep. So he did good.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. I would ask Councilmember Ash McPherson and Councilmember McDermott. I see Councilmember Gully might be coming back. We have a couple of guests with us that Sue will be introducing shortly. I think the mayor, hopefully he'll come back. Jim, you're there?
I am.
Okay, there's no picture.
That is correct.
What, you don't want to be seen?
I have a picture up there.
Yeah, it's from about 6 months ago. Okay, Mara, we're all set?
Yeah, we're still running, so go ahead.
Fair enough, thank you. I'll ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll ask Councilmember Zaluski to lead us in the pledge. And we'll go on.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilmember Zaluski, and we'll do a roll call.
Councilmember Gully,
I am still here.
Councilmember Ash McPherson,
Here.
Councilmember Steele,
I'm here and I'm ringing for recovery.
Councilmember Cummings,
Here. Wait a minute.
Councilmember Zaluski,
Here.
Councilmember McDermott,
Here.
Council President Mantello.
I am here.
7 present, none absent.
Okay, Sue, why don't you first? What I'd like to do, if folks are okay, Sue is going to ring the bells. And I would like to do a moment of silence. Then we'll take a vote on the addition of the resolution, and then we'll go into the good news. Okay? Thank you. Take it away, Sue.
Okay, well, it's a little after 7, but every Thursday night at 7, we ring 19 times to honor those who have been on the front lines during COVID-19. One. Thank you.
Sorry, I had to take myself off of mute. I would like to take just a few moments of silence for George Floyd. Okay, Sue, why don't you introduce us to, we'll do good news and then we'll do the addition of the resolution. Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, I think we have, is it Avery and Ella on? Okay. Do we know if Sophia is going to be on too? She's there?
She is here, yeah.
There's Sophia.
Fine.
Okay, well, we're thrilled to have you all here. I think we can all agree that if we ever were in need of some good news, it's at this time when our country copes with a pandemic and in the aftermath of a very senseless and brutal murder of George Floyd. Our commendation tonight is about 3 young heroes who prevented a death. And so it's my honor as the District 3 representative, where Freer Park is located, to commend Avery Farah. Can you wave, Avery? Can you wave so we know which is Avery? Okay. Sophia Jabor and Ella Miller. Whereas Avery Farah, Sophia Jabor, and Ella Miller, 3 Troy High School freshman girls, were walking along trails in Freer Park on Saturday, May 2nd, 2020, around 6:30 p.m., when they came upon a man who had fallen down an embankment and was covered in mud. And whereas although the man was almost entirely camouflaged, the girls detected movement that indicated he was breathing, even though he did not respond to their calls out to him. And whereas despite being somewhat frightened and uncertain what to do, their quick action resulted in a successful rescue of the man. The girls called their moms and Avery's uncle, Troy Police Department Officer David Farah, who were able to get police, fire, and EMS on the scene to rescue the man and transport him to the hospital where he was treated for hypothermia. And whereas the girls' acute observation and quick thinking brought about a happy ending and successful rescue. Their level of awareness demonstrates good citizenship and cooperation with public safety partners, so important to our community. Now, therefore, the Troy City Council hereby congratulates and thanks these young heroes for their outstanding community service, exhibiting quick action and being at the right place at the right time and doing the right thing to save another's life. And this is unanimously adopted by the entire Troy City Council. And we're so thrilled that you're with us tonight. Sorry we can't be in person, but I think you understand. We'll get you the certificate. But we just wanted to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. You really showed great courage and great moral compass. Do you girls want to say anything?
Thank you. Yes. I don't know. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. We go and say thank you. It's a big honor. Yeah.
Very
Thank
well,
you.
very well deserved, girls, and thank you so much for your bravery.
Councilmember Ash McPherson.
Hi, ladies, Sophia and Avery, and the other young lady's name is
Ella.
Ella. Thank you, thank you. You know, there's a time when we say, you know, you see something, say something, and you three ladies stood up to the plate and you saw something, it didn't look right, you said something, and you saved someone's life. That's a big deal. So thank you very much, and continue on doing, see something, say something. It's a good thing. Thank you very much.
I'd like to also thank the three of you. We're so proud of you, and you certainly are future leaders, maybe even future first responders. And we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. You saved a gentleman's life, and certainly I'm sure he will always appreciate everything that you did for him, and we thank you. You are true heroes. Thank you so much.
If you want to leave now, girls, you're welcome to. We, again, thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council President?
Muted.
Sorry, I'm on mute. Resolution 51.
We have a public comment. I didn't know if you wanted that now or afterwards.
Why don't we add the resolution and then we'll go into the public comment, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. Mara, can you read resolution 51 and we'll take a motion in a second and we'll take a vote to potentially add it to the agenda.
Resolution 51 is resolution recognizing June 2020 as Pride Month in the city of Troy. It's sponsored by Council President Mantello, Council members Gully, Ash McPherson, Steele, Zalewski, and McDermott.
Councilmember Cummings, would you like to join us?
Of course, thank you.
And Councilmember Cummings.
All right. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Motion, Councilmember Zalewski. Can we have a second?
Second.
Second. Who was that? Councilmember Steele?
Yes.
Thank you. We can talk about later. Can we take a vote and we'll do a quick slow roll to add it to the agenda?
Councilmember Gully?
Yes.
Councilmember Ash McPherson?
Yes.
Councilmember Steele?
Aye.
Councilmember Cummings?
Hi.
Councilmember Zalewski?
Aye.
Councilmember McDermott?
Yes.
Council President Mantello?
Aye.
Resolution 51 is added by unanimous consent to the agenda.
Thank you so much. Mara, we'll go into the public forum.
So I just received one comment that I believe you all received by email as well from Marie Gavazzi, who was writing to encourage the City Council to move ahead with the distribution of the neighborhood improvement funds. She said, in this of all times, it is most important to promote a feeling of normalcy for our residents. Many of the NIP projects plant flowers in our neighborhoods. Being surrounded by these flowers engenders a sense of well-being and normalcy. Even the act of planting the flowers, as they've done every year for decades, will help the NIP volunteers to cope with the uncertainty of what we're experiencing. Don't hesitate to let me know if there's something I can do to facilitate the resumption of this process that can have such an impact on our citizens. I'll just mention Marie Gavazzi is one of the main people involved with Troy in Bloom, which has, gotten money every year, and with just a couple $100 every year, they transform, downtown Troy and some of the outlying areas.
Okay, and I'm hopeful, Councilmember Cummings, I believe the CRC is about to meet, and we had talked about the last finance meeting trying to see if they would formally allow us to use the funds for non-capital if needed.
Correct. Still working on that, but yes.
Do you know when they're meeting?
I was just looking for that because normally it would be. Well, several of the meetings have been canceled. I'm just looking to check when that next meeting is. It hasn't.
And I think we all left it. We totally agree that the NIP should move forward in some fashion, and these are small grants, but they build huge momentum and pride in our neighborhoods. So.
Right. Yeah. I'm not aware of a scheduled meeting. I'll double check that and check with Steve as well.
Okay. Thank you. Monica, you don't happen to know, do you?
I'm sorry, meeting for which one?
CRC?
I don't. It's usually the third Friday of the month.
Right, but they keep being canceled because there hasn't been much on the agenda.
Right, but it's usually the third Friday of the month for those meetings.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll go right into the agenda. Local laws, none. And just with the NIP, we will regroup and hopefully get that rolling once the CRC can approve the funding. Local law, none. Ordinance 28, Mara.
Ordinance authorizing and directing sales by the proposal sale method of city-owned real property. Council President Mantello at the request of the administration.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion?
Motion, Councilmember Zaluski. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Ash McPherson. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Somebody still said aye. Okay, Mara.
7 ayes. Ordinance 28 is approved, 7 ayes and 0 noes.
Okay, resolution 49.
Resolution confirming the appointment of Richard T. Morrissey as the City of Troy Corporation Counsel. Council President Mantello.
Do I
At
have
the
a
request
motion?
of the administration.
Sorry. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Motion, Councilmember Zaluski. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Ash McPherson. Discussion. At the finance meeting, we grilled Mr. Morrissey, and I think he came out with flying colors. So I think I can anticipate welcoming you aboard. Further discussion? All right. How about if we want to raise our hands, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Resolution 49 passes, 7 ayes, 0 noes.
Okay. We will go to resolution 51. Oh, and Mayor Madden, even though he doesn't have a vote, he said thank you, I think. All right. Resolution 51.
Resolution recognizing June 2020 as Pride Month in the City of Troy by the Troy City Council.
All right. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Motion. Councilmember Zaluski. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilmember Steele. And if you don't mind, Councilmember Zaluski, I normally read resolutions. I would be honored if you wouldn't mind reading this resolution for us.
The only problem is I don't have the text in my agenda of the full resolution, and we edited it recently.
Okay. All right. I have it. So if you don't mind, I'll read it quick.
Thank you.
It work? All right, resolution recognizing June 2020 as Pride Month in the city of Troy, whereas the Troy City Council seeks to acknowledge and honor exceptional contributions to the progress of society that enrich the people of the city of Troy. And whereas for more than 50 years, the LGBTQA plus community has fought to expand the civil rights of Americans. And whereas members of the LGBTQA community have made important and lasting contributions to the city of Troy, to our great state, and to our nation in every field of endeavor, including business, medicine, law, humanities, science, literature, politics, education, music, philanthropy, sports, arts, culture that enrich our national life. And whereas Pride Month celebrates the positive contributions that members of the LGBTQA community have made to the world and to our collective struggles against prejudice and discrimination. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Troy City Council, in honor and celebration of the LGBTQA community, pause in its deliberations and recognize June 2020 as Pride Month. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Would anyone like to add anything?
Council President?
Yes, Councilmember Zaluski.
So I actually, I'm disappointed that I wasn't on the council last year when I think for the first time ever in its Pride Month. So thank you, Chairman, for doing that. That was also coincided with the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, which of course was a major milestone in our civil rights history. This year would have been it is the 50th anniversary of the New York City Pride March, which is one of the largest Pride marches in the United States and in the world. But of course, due to COVID-19, I think the parade's been canceled. We'll have to find other ways to celebrate. But I think, while we're talking about this, of course, the LGBT community is just one of several communities that has faced discrimination over the history of our country, and we're experiencing, another very serious issue happening across the country right now. So, as a member of the LGBT community, I just want to say that I stand in solidarity with the members of our African American community and other peoples of color, and just state, and I think we all agree, but we want to state that Black Lives Matter, and we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go, both on LGBT issues, but most especially on issues of people of color and minorities. And every time we think that we've made progress, we realize that we really haven't, and we've got to do more. And a lot of my constituents have stood up over the last few days to talk about, to express their feelings about what's happening. I've read some writings that, I thought I was a decent writer, but I can tell you that some of the letters that I've received are, they were they brought me, they brought a lot of emotion out of me. What people have been expressing about what they're feeling and how these issues impact them. Even folks that are not Black or a person of color, people are really, really affected by this, and we're seeing that across our entire country. I've been through this myself. I can tell you that my husband and I fought for many years for the right to do what so many other people have been able to do for years, which is just get married. Seems like a simple concept, but remember that prior to 2015, that was not a right that was afforded to LGBT people across the country. Now, 5 years later, after hearing how bad it was going to be and how it was going to be the destruction of the family and the world was going to fall apart if we let gay people get married, life goes on. We realize that it's really not that big of a deal. It was a big deal to the people that wanted that right, but to the folks that thought it was going to ruin the country. Life goes on, but now we have another civil rights battle, the civil rights battle of our time, and we will get through this. We'll get through it. We're all learning from it, and hopefully our nation will heal. We really need some healing. So I think this resolution, although it commemorates Pride Month, the timeliness of it expresses, I think it's far more reaching than just in the LGBT community. So, and Council President, I want to thank you for, I forgot about that. Normally I would put that resolution out myself, and I appreciate you, generating it and forwarding it to everybody. So thank you.
No problem. It is all about teamwork, and we are all in this together, and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. I say that many, many times, and you're right, Councilmember Zaluski. It is a very sensitive time. People are very passionate for just reason, and we need to come together as a community, and we need to work together, and we need to recognize that we don't understand all the issues and we can do better. Would anyone else like to discuss the resolution? Okay, can we raise our hands? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Resolution 51 passes 7 ayes, 0 noes.
Okey-doke. Before we close, I know a couple of council members, and Mayor, I hate to put you on the spot, but I think you're extremely prepared. Just for the public, you put out, I think, a very detailed statement, and I appreciate that greatly. You actually put 2 statements out this week, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate the communication to the public. And I just didn't know if you wanted to just give us maybe the latest update. We do have a couple things going on. On a positive note, on Saturday, we have a citywide car parade for all of Troy graduates. I encourage our council officials and anyone out there, to the thousands of viewers, please, I hope that you can pop out of your homes and wave a flag or pound a pot or ring a bell for our 2020 graduates. And I do want to thank Chief Owens, Chief McMahon, CDTA, and all the folks, the superintendents of Lansingburg and Troy, who have been helping us put this together. Deb Garrett, this was one of her brainchilds when we spoke about a month ago about declaring June as Troy Graduates Month. And then on a different note, and a very serious note, on Sunday, we have a protest that's scheduled, and Mary, just bring us up to speed. And once again, I want to thank you for the communication thus far.
Thank you. So the rally is planned for 2 o'clock on Sunday in Riverfront Park. In my statement, which you can read on the website, the city's website, I've encouraged people to attend. I think the message that they're delivering is important, and it's important to be heard and understood. These are very organic events and very fluid events. We don't know exactly what to expect, so we have tried to prepare for everything. And we will continue to do so over the next 2 days. And I give a lot of credit to my staff, the police department, the fire department, DPW, all those who are working to make sure that this is a safe event for everyone. I would encourage you to remember that COVID is still an issue. So if you come down, it would be prudent to bring a mask, and to the degree possible, though I don't think there will be much possibility of this, keep social distancing. So that's it at this time. As more develops, we'll get more information out. I think we'll have some details to share tomorrow, but they're not fully developed at this time. And so, go enjoy yourself, be respectful of others, and we'll see you there.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. And yes, I think I can speak for all of us. The intense hours and the dedication. I know Monica's been extremely involved, yourself, Mayor, certainly Chief Owens and all the command staff and our patrol officers and our fire department, Chief McMahon. So thank you to all of them too. Working very, very hard to keep our city safe. So thank you. And prepare for Sunday, obviously, to ensure that it is a protest with a purpose.
Council
Okay.
President,
Yes, Council
Before
Member
we-
McPherson.
before we adjourn, Mayor, I know you're very busy, but after this meeting, could you please give me a call? I just need you for 5 minutes.
Will do.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else before we close?
I would just, I don't know that we want to frame this as a protest. I consider this a rally.
Okay, sorry.
I think the organizers of this have been promoting peace, and I would like just to attend with that attitude.
Absolutely. I will correct that. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I will take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion, Councilmember Ash McPherson. We have a second by Councilmember Zaluski. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, Mara?
You're all set. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.